Hey everyone, so this is a reading for your sun, moon, or rising. If you want to skip ahead to any particular area that has your interest, that is like top of mind, then I would check out the timestamps down below. Also, the live hangouts for cards and cocktails, and planning to do more of those. They've been going very well. I haven't chosen any dates for April yet, but the best way to stay on top of that and to find out when those are, to come hang out and get free tarot card pulls. It's just a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's a way for me to connect with people too. It's just fun. You can go check that out in my Instagram. So that's honestly the best way, is to follow me on Instagram to stay up on like when those get announced. So I try to do at least a couple different times to catch different time zones. The other thing is, and I'm going to keep this really short and succinct this month. Last month that was nuts. So let's keep this short and succinct. This is a collective reading, so keep that in mind. If this particular message doesn't resonate with you this month, it just wasn't your message this month. I would check out, if you're checking out your sun sign, rising, then check out your moon sign and see which one of those might resonate with you a little bit better this month. If you do want something that's more specific to what's going on in your life, I highly recommend booking a reading one-to-one. So all the links for that are down below. You can book a personal reading. You can get 20% off of your reading. You can get 50% off with a referral link. So all of that information is down below. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. The last thing that I want to say is there are new subscriptions that are available on Patreon. So if you're someone who really likes ongoing personal guidance with respect to what you're dealing with in this particular month or any month, I have weekly one-to-one, either live or recorded monthly subscriptions. So you can pay monthly to get weekly readings with me that are 30 minutes long. Or you can pay for monthly 90-minute readings with me, and those are also either live one-to-one or recorded for you. So those options are now available on Patreon. I'm still working on the website thing in the background. It has been a bananas month, you guys. So I'm going as fast as I can, but things are changing pretty rapidly. Anyhow, I think that's about all. Enjoy your readings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Cancer, and welcome to your April 2022 reading. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is a collective reading, so keep that in mind. If it resonates, fantastic. If it doesn't, then this particular month, it wasn't really meant for you. I would check out, if this is your sun sign, check out your rising, check out your moon. So if you want a specific to you kind of reading, the link for that is down below. You can get a 90-minute reading with me one-to-one. Also, if you happen to be a Patreon subscriber, my Patreon subscribers, my crew gets 20% off. So without further ado, let's just get into it. All right, Cancer, what's coming up for you as a general message in April 2022? So we have a couple of vibes, actually 3 coming out for you. All right, and don't worry, we're going to look in depth more when it comes to these cards. What is the challenge that's coming up for Cancers? Some balancing going on, okay. You got options though, maybe too many, let's find out. And then your spiritual advice. All right, I think I'm gonna want clarification on that, but first let's take a look at what's coming up for your business, finances, career, work life. And what is the challenge that is coming up for Cancer? Interesting. And your spiritual advice. All right. So we're going to take a look at this in depth more. I find it really interesting that you have knights both coming up in the spiritual advice that's coming up here so far. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Let's see, I make sure that's all in frame. Yeah, Queen of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and the Devil card that is showing up in the general reading. So let's move these out of the way and let's take a look at these, bring these front and center. Okay. So that we can get into them one at a time. And I still have a squeaky floor. It's not fixed, but let's move forward. We're starting off with an interesting story here when we're looking at the cards that I'm seeing. So it's really interesting. So I'm going to start over here first. Let's first take a look at the fact that you're building something. This might be an apprenticeship of some kind, but you're working together either in a community, collaborating, working to build something. So because this is a collective reading, take this and have it be translated to and resonate with whatever aspect of your life. This could be business. We are going to look further into business though, so maybe it could be other aspects of your life, with friendships, with with passion projects, with relationships, although we will get into love reading as well. But this is a general overall reading so that we're taking a look at. So possible apprenticeship, working on creating with other people, creating a foundation of some sort. We also though have the feel of this is feeling obligated. Like there's a sense of obligation, like social contracts, the feeling of like with the Devil card, it can feel like obligations of love or obligations of friendship, or you committed to something that now you feel tied to and don't see a way out of and feel like you have to stay within it. And thing here to know is that we are never tied to things that we think we need to stay with. I'm going to take a sip here because I've been doing readings today and I need some water. Okay, so what's here to also remember that's being pointed out is remembering your worth. The Queen of Wands, remember, she knows she's full of desire and passion and filled with that to such a degree that she's very generous with the way that she goes about living her life and expressing that. So you want to be aware of, like, perhaps within this, whatever it is that you're collaborating on and working to build, like it could be a garden, it could be a business, it could be whatever it is that you're working to build, a relationship, right? A friendship, whatever it is that you are working with, that you need to remember that you are not actually tied to it. And part of the way out is to remember your self-confidence, remember what makes you feel passionate, remember your worth, remember to be generous and to be filled with that light and spark in life, right? I hope that makes sense to you. When we look at the challenge card, what we have here that's showing up is the Two of Pentacles. So this could be you deciding between options and feeling like it's a little hard to balance the either work-life balance, or to balance between two different people, or like being pulled in two different directions and not feeling like it's really stable. Notice the choppy waves that are in the background of this particular card, right? So you see that the seas are not calm in the background, right? It's choppy, it's tumultuous, and kind of like life, right? And so within that, needing to be able to steady yourself to make grounded decisions, and feeling like you're being called to pull between two different areas of your life or people in your life, but there is like a challenge of feeling like you need to balance that, right? And then we come into your spiritual advice. So your spiritual advice is the Knight of Swords. Knights they can tend to be on the impulsive side and kind of rush into the fray. And the suit of swords is our truth, our communication, our clarity, our mental faculties, right? The way that we think. So it's all of these kinds of air qualities. And so when we're looking at the Knight of Swords in the position of being a helpful source, right? So not necessarily the shadow aspects of it, but the beneficial aspects, the positive sides of being the Knight of Swords is moving forward with communicating what is needing to be communicated. Be clear about your truth, what is so for you, what needs to be said, what thoughts or honesty needs to be adopted within yourself first, right? Like understanding it first for yourself, but then communicated into this particular situation so that you're able to make this clear, because this is kind of messy right here, and you're being pulled in a couple of different directions and it's not really clear, right? So you're gonna need to really get some clarity here, and this affords you the clarity is by getting clear on what it is that you need to, what's so for you, and what is something that needs to be communicated in the space, and for you to go in and to do that. Like, you're being given the green light to basically communicate the things that need to be communicated. You know, I know that certain cancers can sometimes, at times, not for all cancers, right, but can sometimes retreat into the shell as opposed to come out and say what needs to be said. Or when they come out to say what needs to be said, there's like the pincers and they pinch, right? It's like sharp, as opposed to being able to just express what there is to express without the need for it to be like, I'm just gonna come out and say it really quick and then leave, right? So just something to be aware of is you can communicate the things that are needing to be communicated. This feels messy, right? You're not obligated by any means to anything that you're working with other people on. You need to remember your self-confidence, your self-worth, what makes you feel passionate about life, what makes you feel really good. And just know, yes, it's a challenge to navigate the choppy waves of what you're experiencing. That's okay. That's okay. Oh wow, I just saw that my hands look so red. It's so warm here today, and I don't have the air conditioning on because it's so loud and I don't want it to mess up my recording. So just get clear on what is honest and what's so for you so that you can actually communicate that. And I just realized I need to set this to do not disturb. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what is coming up in the realm of career, we'll start off here by looking at the fact that you are in a place where you're either being called into leadership or this is a leadership position that you've recently taken on, right? So this is victory, but it is also the position of being in a space where you are being called into leadership. When we look here at the challenge, the star card we would normally think of as like, oh, this is beautiful, it's rebirth and healing and all these different things. However, when we're looking at it in this particular light, it's like a false light, essentially. That's what the challenge is in this particular position. It's false light. So what do I mean by false light? Self-deceit. Like, you have put your attention and time into something that is illusory. It's not really going to bring something in that you're wanting to bring in ultimately. There's a short-sightedness about it. There's something that is, right? We think of like starlight is long view, right? It is the star, the light that takes thousands of years to even reach our eyes, right? What we're seeing is thousands of years old. And so it's this ancient light, right? It is the loss of clarity in this way, right? So there you could be feeling like you're obscured from the light also. So for some of you, you could be feeling like, okay, I put in the work, I'm trying to be a leader, and I'm not being recognized, I'm not being noticed, I'm not being seen, and it feels like a waste of my time and my energy. But also for some of you, it could be like you think that you're putting in the time, you think that you're putting in what's necessary to be successful, and really it's false. It's not, it's it's not really taking it up to the level that it needs to be. I know that's kind of harsh to hear, so I'm really sorry to say that, but it is a part of what I'm seeing here in the challenge position. Now the star in the challenge position, not the best, right? It's not the most fun. You do have a really fun card that shows up though to support you when it comes to when it comes to the spiritual advice that you're getting here, which is the Knight of Wands. And so when we look at the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands is about, so again, or I'm sorry, yes, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is about like this fire. The knights tend to, again, to remind you, they rush into the fray. They can sometimes be very impulsive, but also really spontaneous, which is a really lovely quality sometimes, right? So this is like putting your energy into self-growth, putting your energy into future prospects, putting your energy into new directions, like riding high into the new directions that you might want to take your energy into. Taking some risks, calculated risks, let's just say that, but taking risks and like stepping into your creative energy. So how are you taking risks? And if you're not, are there risks that you could be taking that would be really fantastic for you to step into more of this kind of role of leadership, right? And where can you tap into your creative energy? And let's just say it because it's me, and so I'm gonna say it, but sexual energy is creative energy. So how healthy is your sex life? How healthy are you connected to your sex life to be able to do this, right? So you want to be sure that you are checking in with yourself creatively, sexually. Where are you putting your self-growth? What are you doing in terms of risk with passion, right? Because this is the fire suit, with passion towards your prospects, your future prospects. So you want to be taking a look at that, right? Okay. That said, let's take a look at your love. By the way, Cancer, I was just on a conversation before your reading. I was taking a break, and I am going to be definitely making some changes for next month in the format. So, but let's keep with this for this month, okay? And we're going to look at what is the oh my goodness. So we had 4 cards actually pop up for the challenge. And then let's take a look at what your spiritual advice is. We have 5 cards for your spiritual advice. That's a lot. That's actually for all of the signs that I've read so far, except for the Aries reading. Haven't had so many for love. So again, we're going to take a look at the Divine Feminine. What is coming through for the Goddess card? Again, we are not talking about gender. We're not talking about identity. We are talking about simply the polarity that exists in all of us, in the universe, right? So just what do you identify with? It doesn't matter. This is about the energy that you can tap into that can be really useful for you going forward throughout the month. So if you want to think about it in terms of archetypes and the kinds of strengths and wisdom that you can embody to help you through any of the challenges that you're experiencing, then maybe look at it that way. If you are someone who's down with the whole like deity belief structure, then these are your homies. These are the ones who got your back. So we are also taking a look at these particular cards that I'm shuffling now. This particular deck is, I feel, another avenue for your guides, ancestors, to have a voice that's more direct to speak to you about what they think you should be doing. So I like to include that. For those of you who that resonates with, great. For those of you who it doesn't, that's okay. So then we're going to take a look at what is coming up in terms of your shadow. Another way to say shadow, because it's way overused these days, is your blind spot in life. Like, where do you get tripped up right? And then the next that we're going to look at, or the very last actually, is a rune. So we're going to take a look at a rune and see what advice that has for you. So that is your reading, Cancer. The link for this, for the extended reading, is down below. So you can go to Patreon and you can get this reading. I am still working in the background on creating a more fluid page so that people, if the message resonates with you this month, you can purchase this month. If it doesn't resonate with you next month, you're not already subscribed. I'm just trying to find something that's a better workaround. So feel free to subscribe for this month. If this speaks to you and you would like to continue the reading, go to Patreon and you can subscribe there. And I don't care, unsubscribe the next month if you want to. I'm trying to come up with a better system. So let me know what works for you. And also, once again, if you want a one-to-one reading, you can book that with me below. The link is down below. If you're a Patreon subscriber, then you can get that for 50% off. So, all right. Thank you so much. Oh, one more thing. There are weekly readings as a membership, 30-minute weekly live or recorded readings for Patreons. And then there's also monthly readings, live or recorded as well. So those are special prices that are only for my Patreon crew. All right. Thank you guys. I will talk to you next month. Bye.